Again, it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. There's going to be weeds, there's going to be thorns, and God help us, the world will only focus on your thorns. So don't worry about trying to impress them. Give it up. You can live a good 24 hours, like I've said before. You give them 10 seconds of something you say, something you do that you shouldn't say or do, just because you're a mortal human being living in a sinful world, living in a sinful body, who has been redeemed and filled with the Holy Spirit. That doesn't mean you're perfect or you're going to be perfect. The world waits for your failures. God judges you by your fruit. Every rose has a thorn. Every garden bringing forth the finest of produce has a few weeds. The world and the church does not so much follow the 9 as they follow the 10 when it comes to judging. But Jesus didn't say you'll know them by a speck of dust in their eye. He said you'll know them by their fruit. Follow the 9 also gives encouragement and command to the church to unify and to put away doubtful disputes and ungodly and unethical judgments by which we judge one another. You don't look for the bad in somebody, you look for the fruit. If the fruit is bad, fine. But I'm telling you, friend, they're waiting for your mistakes. They're not looking for your good fruit. The world expects a Christian to be perfect. The church is worse than the world at this. Live a good 24 hours again. To repeat myself, you give them 10 seconds, they'll run that around the world. You produce good fruit all day, good fruit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And then get in a moment where you're fatigued and your flesh is advantaged against your spirit, and you produce something that you shouldn't produce. A little thorn bursts out of the fruit vine. The world will say, oh, there it is. He's got a thorn in the vine. He's got a thorn in the branch. When it comes to looking at one another, God, I believe, also is calling for the unity of the church that will help us to produce fruit to the world, so we'll stop bickering amongst one another over stupid things that don't matter. Follow the 9. Okay, if he's not misleading people, if he's not misleading people to hell, if he's doing the best he can, if she's doing the best she can, if she's just living by faith, even though they may be going through a dark time, but I see love in their life. I see joy in their life. I see peace. They're struggling a little bit, but I see patience. I see kindness. The theme and trend of their life is not that thorn. It's a bunch of fruit I see sprouting out. I see goodness. I see loyalty. I see gentleness. And I see general self-control with a few thorns here and there. What are you focusing on? You'll know them by their fruit. There may be a thorn that pokes out of all of us. There will be. But Jesus was crowned with thorns so that he could look beyond our thorns in the flesh. Paul said, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. You're going to have a thorn in the flesh. I'm going to have one. In a self-righteous, hypocritical world, looking to disprove our God by any shred of dusty evidence they can find. And a hypocritical church who disdains those whom God lays their hands upon in jealousy and hypocrisy. Those who are just looking to go viral, I don't know, it could be for any reason. They'll look for that thorn. Paul said, in me dwelleth no good thing, O wretched man that I am. Wonder what the hypocrite said in his day. You're going to have some thorns, but we're not going to follow the thorns. We're going to follow the 9. And that'll keep us together, to where we're not arguing with one another when we should be expending that energy to preach the gospel to the world and produce fruit to the world. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control etched on the wood, not the stone. If your heart is yet of stone, if there's some legalism and religious hypocrisy in there by which you're casting stones at your fellow men, God is calling you to follow the 9, not the 10. We don't live by the 10 anymore in Jesus Christ. The 10 are active. The 10 must be plastered where our eyes can see to give us a standard by which we are aware of right and wrong, to where our conscience is active and aware and up to date. We've got the latest version of God's conscience in us. But we don't live by that. We live by the 9.